Most athletes dream of medaling at the Games, but Alana Nichols is not like most athletes. Three-time gold medalist in 2 different sports, and the first female American to win in both the Summer and Winter Paralympics, Alana is pushing her horizons and looking to add another gold medal to her trophy case in the new sport of sprint kayaking.
It's a 200-meter flat water sprint. Basically, I'm hoping to go in a straight line for about 50 seconds and maybe paddle myself to a gold. I've adapted the seating so that it holds my lower body in and allows me to transfer energy through the boat. Everybody's got specific needs as a person with a disability, and trying to figure that out, that has been my #1 challenge.
But Alana is no stranger to challenges. At 9 months old, her father was killed by a drunk driver. One of 4 siblings, Alana and her older sister, were adopted by their grandparents, who introduced Alana to sports.
I played year-round basketball, volleyball, and softball. I knew that I loved it even at that young age, and I knew I wanted to compete. And I had dreams of going to the Olympic Games for fast-pitch softball.
But unfortunately, that dream would never be realized. On November 19, 2000, Alana attempted a backflip while snowboarding and landed face-up on a boulder.
My back was broken in 3 places, and I was paralyzed upon impact. I got a lot of my worth from being a successful athlete. Without that, I was lost. I didn't know who I was anymore. I thought about not living anymore because I didn't want to live the life that I had in a wheelchair. Probably the same week when I was having those thoughts, I was rolling through the gym at the University of New Mexico, and I ran into a whole team of people playing wheelchair basketball.
Alana had found her calling. Within a couple years, she was competing against some of the best wheelchair basketball players in the world. And in 2008, she was invited to play for Team USA at the Beijing Paralympic Games and won gold.
Right before I'm about to receive that gold medal, I thought about that 17-year-old version of myself sitting in the hospital bed thinking her life was over. Just when I thought my life was over, it was just beginning. After Beijing, I knew I wanted to get back on that proverbial horse that kicked me off. I wanted to get back on a mountain, and I wanted to see what I could do with that on a competitive level.
Alana now had her sights set on the 2010 Winter Paralympic Games in Vancouver. But only 7 months before the Games, her older brother David was found dead from a gunshot wound to the chest.
I didn't want to move on. He was my reason, and he was my purpose, and for me, ski racing didn't matter anymore. Like, why would it if he wasn't there to see it? I cried for months. And then I realized that my brother would want me to. I realized that he would be so disappointed if I didn't. As I went into the start gate, I got irrationally emotional about my brother. I was literally crying, and I couldn't stop. And I said, "Brother, I can't do this. You have to do it." I don't remember a single second of that race. I got to the bottom of the mountain. I looked up at the scoreboard and I saw my name up on top. I saw that I had just won a gold medal, and I cried my heart out. It was because I had won a medal. It was because I became the first female American to win gold in the summer and winter. But it was so much because my brother was there that day.
Alana continued on as a monoski athlete, but after suffering a serious injury, she decided it was time to move on to the new sport of sprint kayaking.
There's one race in the Paralympic Games. We have a heat and then a semi and a final. So potentially all of this work that I've done will come down to maybe 50 seconds. It's an honor and a privilege to be among some of the first people with disabilities to figure out sprint kayaking. And I think in the back of my head, my main source of motivation is blazing that trail. Here's what I did. Build on this. Your life isn't over after an injury. It's very different. And yes, it is sad because you lost a part of you. But with loss, you know, you learn, you grow, you're different. And I'm thankful for that.